hi there to you all, and I've got a really exciting session that I've been looking forward to in the last few days. Here we are on the packaging day, and I'm very pleased to be having a conversation with a real specialist of the corrugated packaging segment, Aviatar Halevi from HP, who is Packaging Business Development Director across their industrial corrugated set of products. And he is going to talk a little bit about digital corrugated and why it's here to stay, which of course we hope. He is, as I said, Packaging Business Development Director, what a mouthful, responsible, I think, for developing the market for HP page-wide industrial future packaging products. So quite a broad range of products. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you, wherever you are. Aviatar, nice to see you.
Thank you, Fraser. Nice to see you and nice to talk to everybody.
Yes. Now, I know that you previously were Cytex, weren't you? And you've also, if I recall, had a couple of CEO roles at startups. Is that right?
Yes, I am in Cytex. I work with Cytex, but as you can imagine, some of the marketing activities are going across the entire portfolio with the web press as well. And yes, my history background is yes, I was CEO of a couple of startup companies in Israel. I was marketing, R&D, you name it. I kind of touched many roles.
Good, good. And today you're going to share with us a little bit of knowledge and understanding of where digital corrugated is and where it could be potentially in new markets. So I'll hand the slides over to you. So Aviatar, over to you.
Very good.
The slides and then do your presentation, and we'll have a chance to have a few thoughts and questions at the end.
Yes, absolutely. We'll leave some time for that.
Fantastic.
Okay, so let me just share.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So, very good. So thank you very much, Fraser. The topic of the discussion today is really all about digital printing in corrugated. And the statement I'm really making is that it is here to stay. I think it's pretty obvious. Started quite a few years ago, and there were many introductions by many vendors, including HP. And we believe we see signs of it really maturing and beginning to take some interesting steps into the industry. And I want to share with you some of the insights that we have. So really, what are the converters expecting from a digital solution? Basically, what they look for is a combination of few things, really, because they want to see it taking center stage. So it has to be an industrial solution, which means high capacity, which will have a meaningful impact on their business. It has to fit the production floor, dust, temperature, boards that are of industrial grade and not too perfect, and connectivity, which is very, very important. Physical connectivity with conveyors and everything, data connectivity, control, and all of that. It has to be automated. The second pillar in the request would be that it addresses a very wide range of applications so that they never have to say no to their customers. In terms of boards, addressing different flutes, liners, print quality with all the elements, solids, details, gloss, gamut. Of course, variable data, the big promise of the digital, which still has to find its ways into the industry. Double-side printing, regular slotted containers, food and sensitive applications, and many, many more. The third pillar is being economical. So it has to prove the TCO, variable cost. It has to show that it is right for me to convert and in volumes, because doing just lucrative applications may be very interesting to some, but many customers in this industry would like to see that the economics work well for them, even for their standard routine jobs that they do today. So it has to be as much inline as possible, maybe not in the beginning, maybe later. It has to be an automated solution, of course, and all of that. And the last pillar, which is by far not less important than all the rest, is, okay, hold my hand. How do you help me to transform, Mr. Vendor? In terms of technical support, connectivity to brands, can you help me? financial solutions, consultancy, all of that. Don't leave me on my own, because by and large, most of the converters are not really well educated on helping on selling digital, either the way of selling it or the technical challenges involved with going digital. So these are the pillars. And what I will do from here on, I will try to elaborate a little bit on each one of the pillars and where we think we are, and maybe some proof points as well. So let's focus on the first one, industrial solution. As you probably, some of you are well aware, HP offers a broad set of solutions from preprint to postprint. They are all using the same writing system technology, which is core technology for HP, with tons of values coming with it, and I'll elaborate on it a little bit. But basically, we are addressing every process that exists in the industry. Either it's litholamination or flexo, either it's moderate volumes or high volumes, preprint or postprint. We have a solution for any of these processes, and with field proof, quite substantial. So I will start by showing just a very simple example. Many people think or conceptualize that digital is for short runs. So let me share a secret with you. On the C500 platform, 70% of the jobs in the month between April and June this year were longer than 2,500 pieces, and 30% were longer than 10,000 pieces. So this is significant. It's not just short runs. I mean, people are converting existing jobs, and they have reasons for that, and we'll go over some of these reasons. But the proof is in the numbers. Significant volumes are going into long runs as well, not just short runs. Beyond that, if we look at the entire fleet of what we have today coming from HP, I can tell you, I can share with you that last year, about 150 million square meters were printed on our equipment, from the web press volume producers to the C500 value producers. It's all coming and summing up to 150 million square meters. So this is not a conversion of an industry, of course. It will take a long, long time to convert the industry, because this is probably about 1% of, and maybe less, of the total corrugated volume in the world. But if you really focus on the high value side of the market, then it is becoming a little bit more interesting. But 150 million square meters is a volume that you can begin to appreciate. Customers are voting with real jobs, streaming day in, day out. With that, I want to go over to the application span of the that people are looking for. So let's look at some examples, but I will start with a short introduction. You know, the role of the box is changing over time. It really started with what I would call the bare necessities. So a corrugated package needed to protect and help carry the goods inside. So that's easy. That's really the how corrugated industry started. But then step by step, with the advent of quality and market demands and proliferation of products in the market, we begin to see a little bit more. It has to be attractive. So a box has to be attractive. It has to appeal. So it has to stay on the shelf, so people can really connect with it emotionally, and therefore select one product over others. It is also used for promotion. Like, you know, customers that bought this bought also this one, and you would argue, why put it on the box? Well, it is what's happening, right? Subscription boxes and other, and we see interactive barcodes on the box and all of that. So this is the second layer that was really coming about, and I think we also begin to see even a more progressive layer. I would call it kind of the soft messages, which is coming with the millennials and people like that. So I need to make sure that it is environmentally friendly. I need to make sure that the package is connected, and that's a buzzword that is coming forward quite extensively lately. It has to be aligned with me, with my beliefs. And all of that, what does it mean, really? I mean that it means that the box experience is changing. It needs to carry finer details. It needs to show richer graphics. It needs to be able to carry coding on the box, like barcodes, QR codes, and so on. Double-sided printing, innovative designs. Every box is different, shelf-ready, and it has to also go into new paper sources in order to save the environment. Thinner liners, maybe nanoflutes one day, and there is trend to begin going there, blending between folding carton and corrugated, and of course, friendly chemistries. So print quality, applications, environment are all kind of coming into focus. And if you need proof to all of that, there are enough studies that are showing that the high value, high graphic segment of the boxes in the industry is growing about 2 times the pace of the entire market. Maybe true before COVID, the entire market was developing at about 3.5% CAGR, but the high graphics are developing at about 7% CAGR. So basically, we see progression towards the statement on this slide. So with that, as you are well aware, the technology that HP has developed was designed from the beginning to be able to address all these requirements. So we put a very high focus on very, very high quality, really being able to address litho applications and convert litho jobs. But not only, you will see the economical side, and you have seen some example with the volumes that are being converted. It's not just a litho, it's also flexo, and I'll show you some examples. So it is water-based solution to address the environmental concerns. It is high quality, provided with the very fine drops that the technology exact, and with very, very accurate motion system. With all of that, you get litho quality. You can avoid doing the laborious trapping, because color-to-color registration is as perfect as you can expect it to be. So no need for anything like that. All provided by the technology that HP is providing. By the way, on either of the platforms, the preprint, postprint, they're in that sense all the same. And some examples, few of the customers that we have, just a selection, we have many examples. Eco in Italy, doing flexo conversion. They have created 3 versions of boxes, double-sided, very high quality, all delivered from design to shipment within 48 hours. You can never expect to do that with any other technology. Leak also in Italy has converted 20,000 boxes that are all oversized for a flexo lamination process, and basically saved a lot of money by being able to stitch, avoiding stitching 2 pieces of litho laminated boards, and doing just 1 shot on the digital machine on the C500, and creating 1 box in 1 shot, saving a lot of money. Gelfi, with the very famous application that we have talked about many times in the past, with Melinda, 3.2 million boxes, each one of the boxes carrying a very different message, created a lot of buzz in the market. Vanguard in the US, creating double-sided boxes that are brown on the outside and more interesting, I would say, in the inside, creating a lot of nice brand engagement with QR codes inside the box and all of that. So printing brown on the outside, printing quality on white on the white liner on the inside, all done on digital equipment. So these are just some examples of flexo conversion, litho conversion, pure digital, and even brown and double-sided on the right-hand side. With that, I want to have a short discussion on economical. Is it economical to do that? So, you know, the proof is in the pudding, as they say, and the volumes that they print with the run lengths that were shown, these are proofs. But beyond that, I can share with you that if we look at 9 installations of the C500, 9 customers, you look at the different value pillars, the economical pillars of why print digital. There is the production cost optimization, which is really directly what happens within the plant. which is saving cliche cost, eliminating laminations in litho case, reduce setup time and waste and all of that, maybe better utilization of the analog presses and avoid using short runs on them and going directly to the very long runs. Then there is the supply chain efficiencies like faster time to market, easier frequent changes, inventories, obsolescence, and all of that. And the last one is really the marketing engagement, which is the pure digital segmentation, localization, promotions, variable data printing, and all of that. Interestingly enough, the different 9 customers of the C500, kind of each one of them found its own sweet spot of how to balance between these three values. And what you see at the bottom is that customer A is mostly converting existing jobs, whereas customer I is mostly using the digital power of the machine. And you see the variations across customers. So basically the message in here is that the economical case for going with digital vary a lot between customers. Some of them will convert and somehow try to maintain the same price to the customer, but find better cost structures internally. Some of them are using the power of digital to charge much higher prices in the market because customers are willing to pay for if they save the money or create a special opportunity for them. So this is for economical. The last pillar really is to help transform. And in here, I think HP is notorious for being able to help customers transform markets. Corrugated is not the first market that HP is active in transforming, with a lot of success in other markets, commercial, folding, commercial labels and more. And we kind of would like to think of it as in layers. Supporting with technical and application training and whatever they need to do with a control tower that helps with remote assistance and all of that. A layer above that is training and sharing best practices, fertilizing between customers. Of course, automation, adhering to standards like G7, which we adhere to, and of course, FOGRA and others. The next layer is the connectivity, MIS. We have a very powerful DFE that controls the press, but also connect upwards and creates all the necessary reports, as well as automating the workflow. And something that we are very active with is to help customers with even going all the way to their sales force and training them, helping them connect with brands and create mutual campaigns, all of that. So this is the value that HP brings to the table, and it's all in the name of really making it easier for customers to move to digital without the fear factor, without concerns, because we are not just putting a press in place. We help the customers to make best use of the press and to get to the value that they are seeking with the digital solution. So to sum it up, really, as I said before, proof is in facts, and we are converting, we are making many placements. You can see on the map many placements of both the post and pre-print solutions, converting a lot of volume already, and ways to go. But it's accelerating, and we see the market reaction, and that's the end of the message. It's here, and it's going to stay, and anybody welcome to join. It's a very exciting road. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eviatar. That was really interesting, very comprehensive delivery, and yeah, I just sense that you guess that if people are looking at investing in this, then HP is obviously one of those companies that they would consider, because you just do such a good job of delivering great value all across any change that a company is making. And that's really what we're talking about here, is quite, you know, it's a change, isn't it? It's
yes.
To a new thinking. I just asked the question, which is, I guess, the challenge for the digital print industry, particularly with packaging converters, and particularly in the corrugated space. We did a presentation a couple of years ago to the CCE group, who are Corrugated group, and they were interested in digital, but wanted to justify the reason for not investing in it. It's odd,
Yes.
isn't it? But I think that's partly because a lot of packaging converters have very clear supply chain processes in their mind and don't want to disrupt that. What have you found when you've been out there talking to people?
Look, so, change is not easy, never. On the personal level, on the business level, on any level, change is not easy. And normally you change for two major reasons. One is because this is your nature and you like to change all the time and you are a leader, an early adopter of anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is if you must, if it's too challenging not to change. And I think the mass market is of the second type. Mm-hmm. And you need to see the proof that it can be done and it is helping me personally. Don't give me mantras, don't give me stories. Show me that it can help me. So I think that so far until now, we have seen the early adopters. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I don't think we have exhausted this phase. The market is very big. And even with the 150 million square meters, it's still very little of what the industry has to offer and possibly to convert. And I don't think that the entire industry will eventually convert all the volume. It's not that easy, yeah. But we are still with the early adopters. But we begin to see the signs of the guys that are okay. It's interesting enough. Maybe there is something in it, but these guys have their fear factor that we need to help them with. And in here, I think that HP, again, apart from the technology, can help a lot because it needs a lot of hand-holding, maybe with financing solutions, maybe with a lot more proofs, maybe with assisting not only on the technical side, but on the commercial side as well. Help me engage with brands and all of that. I don't know if everybody is aware of it, but we have this forum of customers, Digital Pack we call it, where they communicate with each other and sometimes even share work between themselves. So all of that are this type of networking assisted and created by HP with the very intimate hand-holding that we can have with our customers at all levels. We see the reaction in the market, and now we need to propagate the story to others, and it will take the time, but the market is reacting.
Your point is always right. It's that sort of early adopter group, and then there's always a jump to the next, the sort of the late majority, which is what
the late majority is years away. Yeah, but
so it's always that jump. But so you feel very much that the people that you've got at the moment are the early adopters who get it, who move quite quickly, who are keen to adopt something that gives them added value advantage. So that's really where I guess you said. Just let me ask you a little bit about your sense of the bigger trends throughout the kind of retail space, and how that might impact a little bit on digital print for corrugated, because exactly as you said, you lined up the reasons why this is so good. There's localization, there's kind of response and immediacy, all those things that we all know are reflected by digital. What do you sense is the shift? I mean, obviously throughout the COVID crisis, there's been a shift to more online purchases, which are obviously boxed, aren't they, in corrugated? So do you see a general trend towards that?
I see. Yeah, I see a few trends, but maybe I will start with data because I very much believe in data. Mm-hmm. And in this very challenging time of the COVID since March this year, not only that the volumes that are produced on our digital install base has decreased, on the opposite, it has increased significantly.
Right.
And we see, by the way, a lot going into food and into toys and things like that. So everything that goes into directly to the consumers has boomed significantly and has gone up significantly. On the other hand, you see a lot of kind of curbside pickup from supermarkets and so on. So even they are now challenged in quick delivery.
Yeah.
And some of them have reacted very quickly, some of them less quickly. So home deliveries of different types have increased a lot. And all of a sudden, the retailers, they were building on the fact that consumers will step in and be attracted by the box. But what if the consumers are not stepping in? What if you need to send them the goods to home? How do you attract them for the next good to buy and so on? So I see all of this happening. I see the market going into some sort of, I don't know how to say it, but everything becomes more agile, more dynamic. And there's nothing like digital to support dynamic.
No, I loved the way that company had printed inside the box. So,
yes.
There's that sort of open the box and then
experience
of what was inside. Great idea, really good thing. And obviously reflects that sort of opening the box experience, which is, right. There are videos on YouTube that do that. So it's kind of a good reflection of people's thinking. And also, as you say, a reminder that that box is not just about protective purpose, it's also about advertising and kind of referring on to the next thing, the next product, if you like. We're kind of coming to the end of the presentation. Is there anything you would like to say? I mean, I'm conscious that your technology is really strong, and you have challenges now to show people, because obviously people aren't traveling around the world and things. So how are you tackling, I just wondered, how are you tackling getting people to see what you can do at the moment?
Good question. I can spend on this the next half hour, but let's do it in 2 minutes.
Just as we wrap up, sorry.
Right. So,
so basically, to ask that question, but I was just thinking, exactly that question. How it's so bloody good. How are we going to see it?
Right. So there's a collection of tools. One, we do tons of webinars, and many people are attending the webinars. Of course, it's an open market; everybody can attend, right? Yeah. So tons of webinars. Some of them pure technical, some of them commercial, some of them God knows what. It's all over the place, and almost on a monthly basis, we launch a webinar. Last week, we just finished a very, very successful virtual demo week where many customers have registered, and we're watching live demonstration of the press running continuously, flawlessly, as well as technical explanation on how the press is working, alongside with all the things in the envelope that HP is offering, some examples of applications and so on. In parallel to this, I mean, there's the standard engagement between salespeople and their customers. We are trying to virtualize as much as we can.
Yeah, of course. And that's why you're here today, which I'm very grateful that you are here with us on the FuturePrint Virtual Summit. So thank you for that, Aviatar. You've been a really easy and gentle and fun person to have a chat with.